Hey YouTube, what's going on? That picture you just saw was one of my more recent everyday carry loadouts. I thought I'd post it just so you can just kind of look at it for a moment there. And I had a question that related to that, and the question came from a subscriber that asked, of the categories of EDC, which ones are the most collected or the most collectible? This is kind of subjective, obviously. Not everyone collects the same kind of stuff, but I think that if you wanted to know the majority of what people collect, I'm going to give you a top four. And I do believe that there's probably about 26 categories of everyday carry. And I'm going to actually post that list at the end of the video, so stay tuned to that. But in terms of the top four, I'd say the first one would be a small fixed blade neck knife and or a pocket knife, like a folding blade, basically. So, there's a lot of different interpretations of which ones would be the most collectible. But there's a whole range. There's a whole world of smaller, compact cutting tools out there. And I think by far that's probably the most collected of all the gear that people carry on their person. Number two, and this has been more like in the last 5 years, people have been collecting this particular category, and it's some of the more higher end flashlights made of some of the more exotic materials. Certainly people collect flashlights. I'm probably one of those. I do it on a more budget level, but I really enjoy my flashlights. And number three and number four, in my opinion, kind of almost tie in terms of what I see. And it's because when I see one, I usually see the other on the same individual. And that's going to be people who collect watches and people who collect pins. It's typically executive pins. And so there's all different kinds of watches and pins. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that you can be a very budget-oriented collector and get into these. I like my big pins that cost 10 cents. I do have a few nicer executive pins that cost around $40 to $50, but I don't collect them. I just have a few. And most of those were passed down to me over time by other people in the family. I do have a small collection, which I have shown over the months, of some tactical pins. And so even then, though, I wouldn't say that I collect tactical pins. I just have a few that I've purchased over time. But what I thought was pretty interesting was of how when you see a pin, you typically see a really nice watch on the same individual. So what do you think about this? Is this something that you see as well? And are there other categories that you would rank higher than my top four? I would love to hear your thoughts on this in the comment section below. As always, thanks for watching. And here's the list that I was talking about. This is, in my opinion, the 26 categories of everyday carry. Thanks for watching.